So we're going to continue with our networks, and we're going to look at Euler path and Euler circuits. When we add those words to the path and circuit, it adds more detail. So a path, remember, is still going to be tracing your pencil along a direction where you're not picking your pencil up. A circuit means the same thing, but you are specifically beginning and ending at the same point. Once we add the word Euler to the front of it, it is dealing with edges. So if I'm dealing with a path, Euler path, I am passing through every edge exactly one time. So every edge is covered. An Euler circuit means that you cover every single edge exactly once, but you also start and stop at the same point. Every Euler circuit is also an Euler path, so it always goes in this direction, left to right. If you know it's a circuit, it's also a path, because remember, a path means it covers every edge. A circuit just adds to it that we have to start and stop. If we have an Euler path, it doesn't mean it's an Euler circuit. So there are going to be two ways to find a Euler circuit. So I'm going to skip over to here. You can just do trial and error, which just means I'm going to start somewhere and see if I can do it. And then there is a technique that's called the burning bridges technique. So we are going to start off with, how do we know if there's an Euler path and or an Euler circuit? So that is this theorem. Euler theorem says we are going to start with a connected graph, and we are going to figure out the degree of each vertex. So degree of each vertex first. So I'm going to use this one over here as my example. We're going to go, okay, which this is covering it up, but it's a capital A. So there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off of B. 1, 2, 3 off of C. 1, 2, 3 off of D. So you're going to start off, if the question says, is there an Euler circuit, an Euler path, we're going to start off with the degrees. Double check yourself when you're counting how many edges leave the actual vertex. If a graph has no odd vertices, you will always have at least one Euler circuit, which is also a path, because remember, a circuit is more specific. It's kind of like the idea of a square is a rectangle. Okay. You can start anywhere you want if there are no odd vertices. If there is exactly two odd vertices, you will have at least one path, not a circuit. You will have to start at one of the odd vertices and you will end at the other odd vertex. If a graph has more than two odd vertices, there is neither. So if we look at our example of our Königsberg bridge, if we did, again, how many edges, which is how many bridges come from the island, we should see in that case that we have, again, 3, 3, 5, and 3, which is more than two odd. So there is no Euler path. There is no Euler circuit. So this is actually a way to prove that we could not do what we wanted to do, to cover each edge exactly one time. The edges in this case were the bridges. So we have a way to determine if we have a circuit or a path, but now we're going to talk about how can we actually find that Euler circuit. So if we have an Euler circuit, we know when we draw it, there's going to be no odd vertices. So you may begin your circuit at any of the vertex. However, once you choose it, you don't want to include anything that is going to basically, if you think about this, you don't want to end up in a dead end. If you need to cover every single edge and you only touch it once, you essentially don't want to come to a dead end where you can't cover the rest of them without backtracking. essentially you do not want to pick up something that's going to be a bridge. Okay, so easy way to explain this more in detail is we're going to use the Fleury's algorithm to figure that out. So first question, you use the theorem. This is where we look at the degree. Remember, if there are no odd, then we have an Euler circuit. If there are two odd, we have an Euler path. If we have more, then my answer is none. So that's the first piece. So we have that listed here in number 2. No odd vertices is Euler circuit, which is also a path. You can start anywhere. If there's two odd, you have to start with one of the odds. So that's not new. We are then going to trace or number or cross out the edge because once we've used it, we can't use it again. When we are going from step to step, we do not want to pick a bridge because this would create a piece where we cannot go back and finish the rest of the edges without covering an edge more than once. Real life scenarios here would be snowplows. They don't want to, again, mailman, which we're going to do in here in a second. An arcade game would be Pac-Man. So there's lots of areas where this is actually used. So we're going to go to example 3, and example 3 just says, consider them, are they, and it's supposed to be they, Euler circuits. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out what the degree is. So counting how many edges, and if you want to pause this video and label them to see and then check yourself, that's great. So there's 1, 2 from A, 1, 2 from B, 1, 2 from C, and 1, 2 from D. This should make sense. If you start at any vertex here, you can just trace the outside and you'll end up back where you started with. So my answer is yes, but it's yes also because every single vertex has an even degree. Going to my B drawing, A has a degree 2, E has a degree 2, B has 1, 2, 3, 4, C has 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So all of them are even. So my answer here again would be a yes. There is an Euler circuit, which also means there's an Euler path. Going to C, this one is a degree. A is degree 1. B is 1, 2, 3. D is 1, 2. C is 1, 2. So I have 2 odd, which means no circuit. But we do have an Euler path because I have 2 odd. Going to my next drawing, my last one for this, B has degree of 2, A has degree of 3, C has degree of 3, and D has degree of 2. So again, if I look at these, I have 2 odd. So 2 odd means no Euler circuit, but we will have an Euler path. So that's the first part of this piece. We're now going to look at example 4, which is an optimal male route. So in this case, she wants to, again, create more efficient paths, and this is actually, again, really common. If somebody was walking and so forth, they don't want to walk the same exact piece to have to go back. So some people make the mistake here as they look at this and they're like, well, they're walking back because they're walking on 2 different sides. This is actually the sidewalk. We're considering the sidewalk as a path. So can she park a truck in one place and do the job without walking any of the sidewalks more than once? So I could represent this one with a drawing to figure out if my answer would be yes or no. But we're going to actually find, because it says if so, how. So if I were to look at this drawing, to me, the best place to park would be at A. And what I want you to realize is the blue highlighted pieces are a sidewalk on each side of the road. So if they are actually giving mail, they'll give mail on one side of the road. They're not going to go back and forth across the road. They're going to do it at one time. So if I were to draw this one, I want you to realize to A to B, we have the top and we have the bottom. From B to C, we have the top sidewalk and the bottom. C to E, I have top and bottom. D to E, I have top and bottom, and B to D. So that would be actually my drawing to represent this. So if I was just answering yes or no, degree 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're all even, which means that there is definitely an Euler circuit by the theorem above. So I can absolutely start anywhere I want and finish there with covering each edge. So if it didn't ask me to label one, I could do it that way. But I'm going to look at my drawing now because I think it's easier to kind of follow, because otherwise you would need to go back over here on your drawing. And you can do that. You can label those sides, because you'll notice there's an A, there's a lowercase b, because those are the actual edges, are the lower cases. So I'm going to start here. So if I start here, to me it's natural, I'm going to start on the top. But again, that's what I'm going to see. So I'm going to start with A. So I'm going to scribble that side out. You have options here, but I'm going to again stay on the same side of the road, which is going to edge B. I'm going to go over here, get rid of C, go over here, get rid of D. And again, you have options here. If you go in the order that it is, you would go E, F, G, H, I, J. So I'm going to stop here kind of just to draw a piece. I want to show you two different ways. You could have done the E, F, G, H, I, J, and that will take you back there. But I also, just so I'm showing you another option, I could right here go up I. Then if I went to J, I wouldn't be including everything. So I need to include G. I could include F. I could include E, and I could include B. And lastly, I would include J. So there is more than one possibility when you have an Euler circuit that is defined for a drawing, because they have even degrees. So there is more than one piece. They're showing you this one putting in alphabetical order. What's common a mistake to make on homework and quizzes is you're picking multiple choice a lot of times. Please make sure you're double checking that you are using every single edge and not going back over it. So I actually would legitimately try to draw just a common sketch here. And so when I would draw a common sketch, like if I was drawing this on my paper, I would just literally draw the boxes. And then as I did them, you can draw them however you want, but this is A, this is B, you know, again, this is C, so that you actually could trace them and scribble them out on your paper. So we're going to do one more for this group of problems. So we're going to look at applying the burning bridges rule. And again, this is saying find an Euler circuit for the network shown in the figure below. So remember, the network is just a collection of points or objects that everything is connected in some way. So again, they're going to do this to show you that you could have done it actually in alphabetical order. So I'm going to start the same way. They would go A, they would go B, we can go C, we can go D, we can go E, we can go F, G, and H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, and then T. That is one way you could do it. But again, I want to stress that you could have gone a different direction. You just can't pick a bridge that is going to get you locked into one side. So somehow you're going to have to do that piece. So I'm just going to I'm not going to write these down, but I just want to show you how we could also do this one here. So if I started with A and I went here, I have to go to B. But right now I have a choice. I could go to M or I could go to L. Or I could go down to C. I have 3 choices. So if I went here, I'm going to go around. I don't want to close off a bridge. So again, I have some choices here. So if I go here, go down, around, and go here, 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 up, down. I'm just going to do this in a different color so you can see how I'm doing this piece, because this is a trickier part. I'd go to L. Can't cover the same piece, so I'm going to go down to here, to F, go to E, go to S, go to T. So there are lots of different options. You just need to be careful that you're not including an edge twice and you have every single edge listed.